for the fans. The glory for the pinstripes.
What's going on, Yankee Nation? It's your guy coming at you with the latest straight out of the Bronx, delivering the serious, in-depth analysis you deserve. Today, we're talking about a hot-button issue, our biggest need as we inch closer to the trade deadline, the starting rotation. Let's cut right to the chase because there are a ton of rumors flying around, and it's my job to separate fact from fiction for you. The date is June 20th, 2025, and you can bet Brian Cashman's phone is already ringing off the hook. Our squad is looking strong. We're competing at the top of the AL East, as is our birthright. But we all know that to lock down that 28th World Series title, depth on the mound is absolutely critical, especially with the uncertainty that surrounded our ace to start the season. First things first, let's set the record straight on our captain and Cy Young winner, Gerrit Cole. I know that at the beginning of the season, panic set in with the news about his elbow. A lot of people were throwing around the term Tommy John surgery, which would have sidelined him for the entire year. I want to put your minds at ease and correct that info. It was not Tommy John. The injury was elbow inflammation and edema, a serious condition, no doubt, which required a complete shutdown and an extremely careful, methodical rehab protocol. The organization has been cautious, and rightfully so. The goal has always been to get Cole back for the second half of the season, ready to anchor our rotation in the playoffs. But the stone cold truth is that the front office cannot and will not just sit on their hands and wait. A team with our aspirations needs a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D. And that's precisely why the trade market becomes our battlefield. At the same time, the Lewis Gill story has been nothing short of spectacular. Contrary to what some early reports suggested, he wasn't injured in spring training. Quite the opposite. He saw the door crack open with Cole's absence, and he kicked it down, becoming one of the league's biggest revelations. His performance has been a pillar for us, a testament to the strength of our player development system. However, baseball wisdom, especially in a 162-game marathon, dictates that you can never have enough quality arms. Relying on a rookie, no matter how brilliant, and waiting on the return of an injured ace is a high-stakes gamble. To win in October, we need one more piece, a reliable veteran who can eat innings and provide stability. It's in this exact scenario that an intriguing and initially confusing proposal started gaining traction behind the scenes. The writer Colin Keane from Sports Illustrated floated the idea of the Yankees making a move for a big-name arm, a pitcher with championship hardware, Walker Buehler. Now, this is where I need to make a fundamental correction, which just goes to show how wires can get crossed. The original report suggested a trade with our historical arch-nemesis, the Boston Red Sox. The mere mention of a trade of our magnitude between the Yankees and Red Sox is enough to send shivers down your spine, but the truth is the report was factually dead wrong. Walker Buehler, as the most clued-in fans know, does not play in Boston. He's a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Once we correct the address, the logic behind the suggestion starts to make a whole lot more sense. Buehler is in his walk year, making him a free agent at the end of this season. For the Dodgers, who always have one eye on the future and the other on the present, if they feel that title chances are slipping or that they won't be able to sign him to an extension, flipping him for valuable prospects becomes a smart business decision. It's the classic definition of a rental player for the acquiring team. Let's break down the player. Walker Buehler in 2025 has been a roller coaster. He's sporting a 5-5 record with an earned run average, ERA of 5.95, 5.95 over 12 starts. I know. Looking at those numbers in a vacuum, the first reaction is skepticism. An ERA near 6 isn't exactly something that inspires immediate confidence. But this is where the analysis has to go beyond the box score. This is where the expertise of a front office and a coaching staff like ours comes into play. We're not talking about just any arm. We're talking about a two-time All-Star, a guy with an enviable postseason pedigree. He's been on the biggest stage, the World Series, and walked away with a ring. He knows what it takes to pitch under the deafening pressure of October, and he's even dominated our lineup in the past. The bet here wouldn't be on the Walker Buehler of today with his inflated ERA, but on the potential of what he can be. Sometimes a change of scenery, a new environment, and especially working with one of the best pitching coaches in the game, Matt Blake, can be the catalyst to reignite that fire and a great player's form. For the Yankees, the strategic logic is crystal clear. Because of his current performance and his rental contract status, the acquisition cost would be significantly lower than it would be for a pitcher with stellar numbers. Brian Cashman wouldn't have to give up our crown jewels. The elite tier prospects like Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones, the deal could realistically be centered on a package of mid to high level prospects from our farm system. Good players, but not the untouchables. It would be a low risk move in terms of both financial and prospect capital, but with a potentially gigantic reward. Just picture this scenario down the stretch. A rotation with a healthy Garrett Cole returning to form, a fired up Nestor Cortez, a dominant Carlos Rodon like his old self, a Luis Gil continuing his meteoric rise, and then we add a motivated Walker Buehler pitching for a new contract and a chance at another World Series. That, my friends, doesn't just sound like a playoff rotation. That sounds like a championship rotation. So the bottom line is this. The idea of bringing Walker Buehler to the Bronx, while initially misreported, is a calculated, intelligent buy low strategy that the Yankees front office has to be seriously considering. It's the personification of betting on talent and track record over recent numbers to fill a critical need without mortgaging the long-term future. Now, I want to hear from Yankee Nation. What's your take on this? Do you believe it's worth a gamble on Walker Buehler, trusting that our structure can get him right in time for the postseason? Or do you think the risk is too great and that we should be focusing on other targets on the trade market? Drop your opinions, your arguments down in the comments below. I make it a point to read every single one. And if you value this kind of deep dive analysis and want to stay ahead of the curve with all the news and inside scoop on our New York Yankees, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. That way, you're guaranteed not to miss a single exclusive update. Let's go on this ride together on the road to World Championship number 28.